Hello and welcome to the video edition of the Kundalini Reiki class. This is class 1. This class will turn on your power at the end of it, and I just wanted to welcome you in. My name is Ashley Kay. I'm the owner of Raven Rose Apothecary in Berlin, Wisconsin, and it is my goal that every person on the planet be able to heal themselves, or at least know the basics about how to begin to heal themselves. This class is free because there was definitely a time in my life when I had to choose between, groceries and diapers, or the electricity bill, or rent, or the car payment, much less taking a Reiki class or any kind of course to help better myself. So again, thanks for being here, and let's go ahead and get started. I've got my notes on my iPad. For anyone that attended in-person class, my teaching style is to share information and then talk about it. So that's how I go about teaching this class. So you can take notes or whatever feels comfortable for you. And I'm just gonna go ahead and dive in. All right, so the intention behind this class, because this class is free, I do hope that it continues to help others long after we are done here today. That being said, I'd like to open the class with the intention. So the intention here is that anyone wishing to learn Kundalini Reiki and accept the attunements offered during this course, now or in the future, so shall it be. This work is quantum, and if you intend it to be so, so shall it be. Today I'm going to be introducing you guys to what Kundalini Reiki is, and how to make the most of it, and how to begin to use it in our everyday lives. So after sharing all the information that we shared during this class today, I'll be leading you on a guided visualization or meditation, whatever feels better for you. And then again, my teaching method is just to read the information and then talk to you about it. So this is how it's going to go. All right, let's see. I'm going to go to my first slide, and all of the slides are available on Facebook. So there is a class booklet that you can get via ebook. It's totally free, or you can get an in-person book for $10. All right, so and then the slides, it starts out, they're blue and yellow slides. I'll show you this just so you can see what I'm looking at. The basics of Kundalini Reiki, and then there's a bunch of slides. Okay, so these slides are all available online. They're available on Facebook. And if you go there and find the post talking about our Kundalini Reiki class, you'll see these slides posted there. So you can go back over them if you need to. So let's start today talking about what is Kundalini and what is Reiki. Okay, so the word Reiki is a combination of two Japanese kanji, and kanji are not words, but they are symbols. So the first rei, it means natural spirit or sacred energy. And the second, ki, is the symbol for life force energy. So the practice of Reiki is when a person uses this natural energy as a way of healing. So the definition of Reiki, it is a healing technique based on the principle that the therapist or the practitioner can channel energy into themselves or a patient by means of touch to activate the natural healing processes of the body and restore physical and emotional well-being. So Kundalini is another primal life force energy. And this one, it resides inside each person as well as inside of our earth, as above, so below, right? So this is an ancient energy that lies dormant, waiting for us to choose the path of inner stimulation instead of outer worldly things. And that's kind of the point of this entire course, is to help you shift your focus from the outer to the inner. We want to form an inner understanding of ourselves and why we do the things that we do, why we say the things that we say, why we react the way that we react. And in understanding all of those things, we really can shift the course of our lives. All right, So people can experience a spontaneous Kundalini awakening, and I'll just go ahead and say it. Some of the kids that are being born these days are born with this Kundalini just already on. So others of us, other people, we don't come into our Kundalini awakening until someone comes along and helps you awaken it for you. But in other cases, our Kundalini awakens in things like trauma and near-death experiences, under circumstances of pain and other things like that. So doing the work of meeting your higher self, doing inner work, doing shadow work, this can all bring on a Kundalini awakening as well. So the dictionary defines Kundalini as the yogic life force that is said to lie coiled at the base of the spine until it is aroused and sent up to the head to trigger enlightenment. All right, so let's talk a little bit about what I mean by the base of the spine. In our energetic bodies, so I call this my meat sack. My body is my meat sack, but outside of my body, I have many other bodies. I have an emotional body, a mental body, there's an astral body. We keep going out, we get a celestial body, and it keeps going. Okay, so that's our auras. Our auras go out this way, and then we have our chakras. Our chakras go from up and down. Now, most people know of our 7 basic chakras, and that first one is our root chakra, and that's the one that sits right at the base of your spine. Okay, so that's where our Kundalini is. And let's say right now it could be in any form. It could be starting to uncurl, it could be uncurled, it could be curled up. Everyone is different. No one is the same. So where you are on your path today, this will meet you there and will help assist to go ahead and open your Kundalini fully and send that energy up your chakra column, all the way up your chakra column and out towards the universe and to use in this healing. All right, so let's see. The very first step, whenever we decide, you know what, I think I'm going to do Reiki. I think I'm going to send some Reiki. I think I'm going to do Reiki on myself. Whatever it may be, when the first step is to get grounded. So as soon as you get the idea, that's the same for anything. It's spell work and anything that we do. The very first thing we say is let's get grounded. So grounding, the definition, is a conscious connection with Gaia or the earth. We can also connect and ground our physical body through our breath. In order to receive upgrades and activation from the constant energy that's pouring onto our planet, we have to be grounded inside these physical vessels, inside these meat sacks. All right, so I'm going to tell you a couple of ways that you can ground quickly, and then one of my favorite ways. So 3 deep breaths, easiest thing in the world. What we're trying to do is bring ourselves back into the now, okay? So often we're living in moments of the past. Oh, I remember when, and I wish it was like this still, and I miss so-and-so, and oh, I messed that up, and we're living in the past. Or we're thinking about, oh, I got to get this in the future. I've got to go to the grocery store. What's for dinner? What's going to happen when so-and-so, blah, 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 like we're in the future. So we spend all of our time there. We never are in the now. And grounding can help bring you back into the now moment. And that's kind of something that's important to me for you to understand is there's never going to be a past or a present. It's always right now. But if we're stuck, if our thoughts are stuck in the past or stuck in the present, we really are missing out on everything that's happening in the right now. So grounding, and how can we do that? 3 deep breaths. So let's just all start by taking 3 deep breaths in your nose and out your mouth. All right, here we go. Each time, just bringing yourself into the earth. Melting into the earth. And one more. After 3 deep breaths, You are grounded, but and I wanted to give you a couple different ways that you could continue to ground. So another easy way is to do 3 heel stomps. If you rise up onto your toes and slam your heels into the ground, this is like a force connection. We're just kind of forcing our energy down into Gaia. And we're going to do that 3 times. Just up and stomp. Okay. So I actually learned that from a really, really great friend named Stephanie. She's amazing. And it reminds me of Dorothy and There's No Place Like Home. Just stomping. There's no place like grounded. Unless you're a teenager. Anyway, the last way that I want to talk to you about getting grounded is one of my favorite ways. If you've had a session with me at all, then you probably have been turned into a tree, where I tell you to feel your roots breaking through the ground and digging in, and you're this very strong tree with these strong roots. Today, when we are getting started on our root chakra, on our Kundalini energy, some of us might have little bitty roots, and we want to work on making our roots stronger. Okay, so what you can do though is imagine you are a tree. Trees are the most grounded thing they can be. They live in Gaia. So I want you to imagine that you have roots, and these roots come out of your root chakra and they go into the earth, and they just hold you. They hold you so tightly into the earth. And then you can feel the wind in your leaves. You can feel the earth at your feet. All right. So by being a tree, we're able to just remain grounded. Sometimes I even just walk around the house like a tree. I'm like, these big, huge footsteps because I'm grounded in. So that's grounding, and that is step 1. Okay. So the first thing that you do before you do anything here is always just get grounded. All right. I should turn off like all my notifications. Yep. All right. So now we're going to talk a little bit about Kundalini Reiki and what it is. So the first thing that it is simple and effective. All right. It's simple, easy, and effective. So Kundalini Reiki is very simple to use. This is one of the reasons why it is so effective. And there are no symbols. There's no processes here. There's nothing that you have to do like in other forms of Reiki where you have to open chakras or close chakras, or you have to do your symbols over and over again, right? This doesn't require anything like that. So you don't have to lay down, you don't have to follow cumbersome processes to activate the energy or to gain these benefits. It's very effective in clearing out your entire channel, and also it's very effective in healing and spiritual awakening. It's also a great system for clearing negative energies from your environment, like your space, your office, your work, your home, all of that. Kundalini Reiki is also powerful, adaptable, and safe. So it's very useful for beginners because you can do this healing in any way that you want with any tools that you already have. You don't have to go out and get anything at all. Maybe at home you have tarot cards. You want to use your tarot cards to see how someone's energy or how your energy is doing. Maybe you have a pendulum at home. Maybe you have candles. Maybe you enjoy singing. You can sing the Reiki energy. Whatever you already have at your disposal that you are already into, that is what you can incorporate into how your Reiki looks. Okay, that's what I'm most excited about here, is that you don't need anything extra. You don't need anything special, but you can make it as simple or as bougie, fancy as you want. Okay, but when I first started out Kundalini Reiki, the only thing that it looked like was me praying. I called it prayer with power. All right, I would sit for 20 minutes at a time doing the healing in my mind. And that's what I want to really stress here, is that it's happening in my mind. I'm imagining the healing happening. If I'm imagining it coming out of my hands, if I'm imagining the energy pouring out of my heart, and I'm imagining it going to the place, if it's on my own body or if it's on someone else's, I'm imagining that happening. I'm giving an intention to the energy to flow, and I'm imagining where it was flowing to and that it made it there and it has worked. Okay? And that's all. This was it for a long time. I didn't getting my candles out, getting my crystals out. I started moving my hands and really moving energy around when I did Reiki. All kinds of things started happening, but that wasn't at the beginning. At the beginning, it was just prayer with power. All right. So, all right, Kundalini is the path that you take to awaken or head down your own spiritual journey. There's nothing to fear here. And I'm going to walk us through a safe and gradual manner and turning on this energy so that we don't overwhelm your energetic body. Adaptable means that you can use this on anything. You can use Reiki on yourself, on others. Not yet. You don't use it on others yet. We're going to stick to ourselves for now. But on animals, objects, on moments in time, places, karma, etc. You can use this system in person or by distance. So the third thing I want to talk about Kundalini Reiki is easy, and it's a perfect foundation. The attunements are easy. Attunements can be intimidating for anyone wanting to be a Reiki master. I know in Usui Reiki, I am a Usui Reiki master and a Karuna Reiki master as well. You have to have a process. There's a very specific process that you follow in order to share these energies with other people. And that's not what Kundalini Reiki is about. And that makes it for beginners. That makes it for everybody. All right. So this system is adaptable and made to be easy to use and easy to share. Attunements to this can be as easy or as elaborate as you want them to be. So when I first headed down the road of learning Reiki, I had no idea that there were so many different kinds. But I have to say that I'm happy that Kundalini Reiki was the first one on my list because it was so easy and adaptable. I got to make it my own. And then when I started adding other forms of Reiki into that practice, it just blossomed into like the fullness of who I was. But I didn't have to start my practices or my rituals or my sessions with specific A to B to C to D. It gets to look how I want it to look. So I'm happy about that you get to add your own touch. All right, so now we're going to go over the basics. All right, we're going to start with, I'm going to just take a seat here and tell you a little story. There's a Japanese scientist, and his name just went out of my brain. Oh, I can't tell you the story without telling you his name. Okay, sorry guys, you're going to have to, I can't tell you the name without telling you. Okay. Masaru Emoto. Mr. Emoto. Okay, there it is. Sorry. All right, Mr. Emoto, he did some experiments on water. And what he did was he examined the molecular structure of water. Okay, and we all have a molecular structure. It's like, think Ant-Man and what's tiny, right? What does it look like when you get down there and look at the really, really small stuff? And so he looked at what the water molecules looked like under a microscope, and there they were. That's what they looked like. They were kind of normal looking water molecules. And then he did an experiment. So this experiment has been repeated many times over by many different people in many different ways in many different countries. So this is what happened. He taped words to water bottles and left it overnight. So let's say on one water bottle, he taped, "I love you, you're beautiful." And on the other water bottle, he taped, "You disgust me." Okay, and then the next day he went and he looked at the water molecules under a microscope, and the ones that said "I love you," these water molecules were geometric. That everything was very geometric. It was equal. It was beautiful. Everything. Like you can think of what a snowflake looks like and how beautiful geometric it looks, and that's what these looked like. And then if you look at the water bottle that had "You disgust me" on it, the water molecules had actually started to turn yellow. They were sharp. They were pointy. It was like a instead. And then, he didn't just tape words on two water bottles and then say, "Oh, this must be how it is." There were many, many experiments done where they actually had monks bless water So like they looked at the water before out of a toxic place that was in Japan. There's a bunch of water that had been hurt or harmed by nuclear meltdowns and things like that. And so the water there needed help. And so they looked at the water molecules under the microscope before the monks prayed over them. And the water was very harsh looking. It wasn't clear or anything like that. Then these monks prayed over the water and they blessed it. And immediately afterwards, the water molecules were now these beautiful sacred geometry shapes like snowflakes that looked really beautiful. Why am I sharing this story with you? Why have I just gone on and on about water? Well, your body is made up of like 70% water. It's mostly water. Like you're made of water. And so the point here is, if your own brain is saying negative things all day long to others, to yourself, if you're thinking negative things all day long to yourself or to, or about others or about yourself, your very makeup, your very molecular structure is turning. It's turning up that toxic yellow color. It's very sharp. It's pointy. It's hurty. It's hurty. Okay. And so that kind of the first step here in going down this path is starting to turn our attention towards our thoughts to be able to better to have a higher frequency, so that we can kind of let go of the part of our ego that insists on keeping us in our heads and in our minds, because we are just turning our bodies that are mostly water, we're turning them into toxicity. Okay, so let's go back again now to the basics of how does this work. So everything is energy, right? Everything is energy, from my coffee cup to my necklace, to this bookshelf, to the couch. My body is energy. I am energy. You are energy. Everything is energy. And energy is guided by intention, okay? Intention is the driver for the energy. Intention is the way in which we tell the life force energy how we want it to work. There are many ways that Reiki can work for us, including self-healing, healing for others, healing relationships, clearing a room, sending energy to open opportunities for prosperity, like a job interview or when you're looking for a place to live, and much more. We all have the ability and the power to direct our attention the way that we want it to. Realizing that is a particularly important shift in our way of thinking. So how does this actually heal our bodies? So I think it's Wayne Dyer and also a quantum physicist. So two separate people, one very spiritual, one very scientist, said when we change the way we look at things, the things we look at change. And that's as simple as it can be. Our bodies are 99% energy and 1% compressed energy. And this is the basic premise of quantum energy. Reiki works at an energetic level to remove physical, emotional, and spiritual blocks. It helps our body and mind and spirit to release lower energy vibrations, and it can bring balance to your emotions, your thoughts, even your biological processes, okay? Also your organs. It can show you how to balance your own chakras, reduce your pain, reduce your stress level, and so much more. So energy, 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 everything is energy, and we help it move with our intention, okay? We guide it. We use it to heal ourselves and those around us. So Reiki, I say Ricky, my dad's name was Ricky, and y'all had the funnest time for the first while just calling it Reiki power from my dad. But anyway, Reiki helps heal your body, mind, and spirit to release lower energy vibrations like fear and worry, stress, anxiety, judgment, hurt, anger, disappointment, rejection, all of these very low frequency words that I don't even like saying, because as we speak these things, like I said, I'm programming my water to be, okay? So we don't even want to use words that are low frequency if we don't have to. We want to remain as high frequency as we can. All right, so we can also work with the meridians, which we talk about later. I believe that might even be in level, I think that might be master level. But you work with meridians during a Reiki session to ensure that they are open and flowing, and that just increases your overall wellness, all right? So Reiki helps on the physical level, reducing pain, eliminating things like stiffness, improving mobility. Reiki helps one improve their sleep patterns and quality, as well as just raising your overall energy vibration so that you can feel rejuvenated and ready to face new challenges. Reiki helps one to calm the mind and body so that a heart and mind alignment can occur. And I think that's one of the most important things we can do is live in alignment with ourselves. If our root chakra is our actions, and we want our actions to match our heart, and we want our heart to match our higher self. And if all the three of and our throat chakra. So if we want our heart to match our words, right, and our words to match our actions, and all of this to combine together means we're in alignment. But if our words say one thing and we're doing something else, and when our heart we want something else, that's out of whack. That's not in alignment. Okay, I know that when I take a step forward, I'm taking a step forward in full alignment with myself. All right. So also, what you're going to kind of come about and come to discover when you start working on your own body is that we've got imbalances, okay? We've got places that are overactive. We've got places that are underactive. We've got places that are maybe stuck and not really moving anymore. We need to get them back into a rotation. All right, so we assist this energy to move and to expand. Energy has to move. When it cannot, it will find the weakest part of your meat sack and then just kind of settle in there. All right. The next thing that we are going to talk a little bit about is intention versus attention. Okay. And this has a little bit to do with your auric field. So in class 2, we'll go in a deep dive into chakras. And then in class 3, we'll do a deep dive into auras, okay? And then class 4 will be your level 2 attunement. So we will cover auras and chakras in the next couple classes. But let's talk about our intention and our attention. So our thoughts radiate around us. Okay, we have a mental body. The energy generated by our thoughts is the basis of everything in our life. Thoughts and emotions are the components of our aura. So each thought has a vibration of its own little chunk of energy. So it's very important that we be in control of what we are thinking about. Being in charge of your own thoughts is the very definition of intention. Your intention will work for you, for your clients, for your students. Your intention will work. All right, simply moving from a negative thinking to a positive thinking changes your very aura. All right, your ability to be the clearest channel of Reiki energy is dependent upon your intention. All right, in other words, where are your thoughts when you're doing your session, when you're working on yourself, when you're working on another person, when you're working on your pet? What are you thinking about? Are you thinking about what's for dinner tonight? Are you thinking about the past? Are you thinking about the present? Or are we in the now moment with a clear intention? Okay? All right. Let's see. The aura is the electricity that emanates in and around our alive body. Okay? It can't be held inside of us, and it fluctuates. It fluctuates with our thoughts, it fluctuates with our emotions, and it fluctuates with our energy level. So our thoughts form energy patterns and shapes that remain all around us. Thoughts create emotions. Emotions intertwine with those thoughts, and all of that creates our auric field. Everything that you think creates you. You and your life reflect every thought and emotion that you've ever had. Okay, that can be hard to take in sometimes, that can be hard. All right, Reiki allows the universal life force to flow with the least hindrances. The entire process of receiving the attunement and using Reiki for oneself and for others releases blockages or areas of density in life and in your physical body. The more that you use the Reiki, the clearer, stronger, and more refined your own light being, your own being will become. Okay? All right, this is one of those, I guess it's a meme, I don't know, but it's legit. It says, just how Instagram has its own algorithm and it brings you more of what you want to see, the universe is doing the same thing. So whatever you are thinking about, whatever you are feeling, the universe, it's like a magnet. It's bringing it to you. So if you're thinking about negative things, if you're holding on to negative emotions, the universe is like, oh, she wants more, guys, more. Okay? I mean, that's just it. Whatever you're looking at on Facebook, Facebook's like, oh, cats, here's some more cats. Oh, did you it gives you more of it. And that's exactly what the universe is going to do. So we have to kind of shift what we're thinking about. All right, let's talk a little bit more about those intentions. It needs to be clear, it needs to be positive, and it needs to be simple. All right, so the Reiki practitioner connects with the unlimited source of life force energy around us all and intends for it to flow to the areas that need balancing. Intends. What does that mean? Intention can be defined as directed thought. Intention is what you mean to happen. Okay? It's more than a hope, although it could be defined as thinking towards a desired outcome. Intention can be expressed in many ways, the simplest of them being directed thought. Another simple way to express intention is through speaking it out loud. So 2 things I want to talk about real quick is the intention itself is, let's make it present tense. Let's say that I want to I want to use an example like my house. Let's say I want to manifest a new house. I would be saying in my manifestation, I just bought a new house. I am cleaning my new house. I am painting my new house. I wouldn't say, I really need a house. I hope I get a house. I would not, because again, that's me giving the universe lack. I'm saying that I don't. And let's change this over to Reiki healing specifically. Let's say that my back hurts. I want to send Reiki healing to my back. I would say, I'm sending Reiki to my back. My back is healed. I'm sending Reiki to my back is healed. I'm not going to say, I'm sending Reiki to my back, it hurts so bad. Oh, it hurts bad? Here's more hurt. Okay, that's how that works. Let's say we want to send Reiki to someone's broken heart. We would say, let's say Sam has a broken heart. I'm sending Reiki. I'm mending Sam's broken heart. I mended Sam's broken heart. I am mending Sam's broken heart. These are active words that are happening now. It's not, oh, Sam has a broken heart and I sure hope this works. Oh, no. Our intention needs to be clear, simple, and positive, and present tense, as if it's happening now or already happened. Okay? So I hope that. Another thing I want to talk about here is our voice. Again, when I first started out doing Reiki, all of my stuff was here and I was in my head and I felt silly. I felt so silly. I felt silly. That's the only way to say it. And I was too nervous to say things out loud. Okay, but then I went on a whole deep dive about words and how words are spells and like what we say happens. Like abracadabra literally means like, as I speak it, so it shall be. Like our words are very important, and I found the power in my voice. So now I do command things with my voice. It's very powerful, but you can say it. You can say your intention out loud, or you can think it. You can think it. Either way, it works, okay? All right, so we're going to talk a little bit about how to use the energy. So it says when it comes to energy, all you need to do is set the intention, all right? So I'm setting the intention. I want to mend. I am mending Sam's broken heart, and then place a gentle attention on where the energy is being received. So then I would think about the energy reaching Sam's heart. And I might even see a little heart being mended, or I might see a heart that was broken coming back together and starting to glow bright white light or something like that. It's all in my head. It's all in your head, what you see, okay? And that's where this kind of starts to get crazy, because your guides and your ascended masters, your helpers, your ancestors, all your spirit team, God, Jesus, all of them, Odin, whoever, whatever, whoever, okay, is always here helping. And so we might get a little something in our head. We might get a little a voice or a feeling, or we might see something. Again, everyone is different. But when these things kind of come up, let's say I'm mending Sam's broken heart and it starts to glow white. And then all of a sudden, let's say a rose comes out of the heart. I would say, oh, a rose came out of your heart. Maybe he has some connection with Rose. You know, Rose is also from the divine feminine here. So maybe we've got Mother Mary coming in. We've got Sophia coming in. So there's just, anything can happen here. Okay? Anything can happen when you place your attention, when you use your intention and you place attention on this area, and you spend time now sitting there thinking about that, things can happen. Your mind can go. You know, if your mind wanders off to the grocery store, then bring it back and, you know, keep going. But if your mind all of a sudden starts to see or hear, or someone else comes into the area in your mind, these are your helpers. These are your tools. Okay? And it feels crazy. You feel silly. You're like, is this real? Yes. Yes. Okay? It's real. And this is your healing power. And it's amazing. So, all right. Just to be clear, the energy does not zap out of our hands. Okay? I mean, it does. And we can have energy. We can imagine the energy flowing out of our hands. And that's fine. But just to be clear, there's no like yellow lightning bolt energy flying out of my hands into my body or your body or anything like that. All right. So there are no mandatory hand positions here, but hand positions can become helpful later when you're scanning your own body, when you're scanning others, things like that. So wherever you place your hands, you will become aware of the flow of energy in that area. So let's see. All right, so that is basically all of the basics. Okay, there's all of the basics of how to use this energy. So what I want you to have now is an idea of, you know, what are you going to do? How do you want to do this? And it can be in anything from as simple as, all right, I'm going to sit down and I know how to pray. I'm going to sit down and say, introduce myself to the Reiki. And that's what this is about. So now, tomorrow morning, or the next time you go to get your glass of water or whatever it is, when you fill it up, when the water's coming out of the faucet, I want you to see the water sparkling with Reiki and think about it. Say, that's Reiki water, and fill up your cup and then say, I'm drinking Reiki to heal my body. I'm healing my body with Reiki. This is coffee Reiki. All right. When I brush my teeth, when I use the water's coming out and I'm using the water again, I'm brushing my teeth with Reiki. When I'm cutting my vegetables, when I'm cooking, when I have my knife out, I'm like, Reiki power. Every slice is Reiki power. I'm cutting my carrots with Reiki power. And then when I eat those carrots, I'm infusing my body with Reiki power. When I'm cooking my food, I'm stirring it with my wooden spoon. My wooden spoon is like my Reiki wand. And I'm stirring Reiki energy into my food. There's so many ways that you can use this energy, and I don't want you to be afraid of it. When you lay down to go to sleep at night, you can set the intention for Reiki healing to wash over your body into every area that needs it. When you wake up in the morning, you can set the Reiki intention to have a good day. You can set, when you take a bath, you can imagine the water or the shower like washing your energetic body clean with Reiki. So there's so many ways that you can incorporate this into your everyday life. Excuse me. Oh my goodness. Sorry, guys. All right. So there's 100 ways that you can incorporate this into your everyday life. And that's what I want you to start to do between now and the next class, is just introduce yourself. Sit there. You can be like, praying, hey, oh, okay, I want to bring in my angels or my guides or my mom or my dad or whoever has passed away, my ancestors, my friends. These are all my helpers here. You don't have to bring in anybody. You can do this alone. You don't have to have assistance of anyone. You yourself are a powerful being with that, okay? So I hope that all of this has been clear. For one, I hope you understand what I'm asking you to do now is to go and just imagine introducing yourself to the Reiki. Sit with the energy. Say, hey, Reiki, it's me, your girl. I'm here. I want to try this out. I want to see what this is about. You can simply imagine this energy after our visualization. You can imagine the energy flowing out of your heart and coming back like a wave to wash over your body. Flowing out of your heart and coming back to wash over your body. All right. During Reiki class in person, we did have some people ask some questions. I kind of want to touch on those a little bit. Someone said, well, when I meditate, my mind won't be quiet. I feel like I failed because it won't stop. Well, A, maybe right then isn't the best time. Maybe you can try again later. B, give yourself grace. Okay. Give yourself grace. And C, meditation doesn't look like this for every person. Meditation, by definition for me, is when your brain gets into that zone, and that's like an alpha zone or a beta, I don't know, it's a zone where it kind of, how you drive, it's like second nature, right? With some things we do, we just do at second nature, and we can have something else going on in the back of at the same time. That's a zone. That's like, it's just like it automatically happens. So when we're in meditation, some people can find that through singing. Some people find it through dance and movement. Some people find that through doing light language. Some people find it through channeling. Some people find it through prayer. Some people find it through stillness and meditation. All right, you can find the zone in which your brain kind of shuts off. It doesn't have to think about what it's doing. Like when you drive a car, your brain kind of shuts off and it lets you into a new space. And that space can happen in different ways for different people. Meditation is the same as everything else. We don't fit inside a box. What's right for one isn't right for the other. So I want you to give yourself grace. Try again another time. And I want you to try it a different way. Try something new. Okay? Try out a way to meditate in a different way for you. All right? Maybe it's listening to music in headphones and counting at the same time, because sometimes when I count, I can quiet out the other. Anyway, it can look like absolutely anything. Some of the other questions I asked, do you know what this looks like for you? Do you have an idea of what this looks like for you? And some people didn't. So I recommended that everybody does know what prayer looks like. We know what this looks like. We know we're going to sit down, we're going to get kind of serious with ourselves, and we're going to say, all right, I'm talking to higher power, talking to the God, I'm talking to the universe, I'm talking to Sophia, whoever you pray to, and you say, I'm going to do this Reiki. We're going to do this. I'm going to imagine my power turning on. I'm going to feel my body filling up with this beautiful power, and just sit with it. And just sit with it and see how that feels for you. If you can't imagine how to use this power in any other way, imagine just sitting with it and being full. Okay? So now I'm going to give you your homework for the next month ahead. And what I want you to do is get out a piece of paper, and on one side of that piece of paper, we got Mad Libs. No, you're going to play a game though. We're going to play a game with ourself, and then we're going to draw a line down the middle. We're going to put higher self on one side. We're going to put ego brain on the other. All right. And now we are going to play the game. Every thought that comes through your mind, I want you to grab a hold of it and interrogate the thought. And I want you to say, who sent you? Who sent you? And you find out who sent that thought. And the way you figure out who sent it is, if that thought made you feel good and kind and loving and creative and inspired, then higher self gets a mark. If that thought made you feel stupid and inadequate and fat and ugly and not good enough and shameful, then guess who gets a mark? Ego. All right, and you can give this an hour, you can give it half a day, however much time you devote to this. I only need about 30 minutes because my brain is active. I can grab 100 thoughts in 30 minutes. But what you're going to end up seeing is that ego is running your life. They've got all the marks. Maybe higher self has a few marks, but the ego has all the marks. Okay, and what you're going to be able to do is look at that and say, all right, this one, this mark, this mark, this mark, that's all the same thought. So that's like one heavy thought that keeps coming back and going, oh, so there's one. And then if you're truthful, you can probably look back at the same thing and go, and that one, and that one are the same thought. So right off the bat, we got two major ways that our brain, our ego, pops up and says something negative, and we have identified it. All right, and you can do this practice a month from today and get two more things that your ego has now something new now. All right, and listen, you're not going to leave here today and be like, oh, I'm going to identify these thoughts and they're going to go away and that's fine. No, that's not how it happens. We identify the thoughts and then we know what they are. And so now when they start to creep in, because they do, our mental body is out here, our emotional body is out here. Thoughts come through, emotions come through like anger. Here comes anger and I can see it, but I don't have to become it. And now I am angry and now my day is ruined and this is how things are and I'm angry. Like I can choose, I can feel anger coming in, and it comes in and I go, oh, there's the anger. I see it. I see the anger and I let it go. I let it go out. And that's what's going to happen with these thoughts. You're going to feel like, so thought number one, oh, you're so stupid, let's say. And here it comes. Oh, you're so and I go, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. I can feel it coming in. Here it comes. You're so no, I'm not. And I can turn and look at my ego and say, hey, be quiet. Like, that's ugly. We're not going to do that anymore. And this is when we go to war. We go to war with our egos. Okay, so for the next 2 weeks, after you have identified, say, 2 thoughts that are going to be popping up in your brain, and now your ego is like, what do you mean be quiet? No! And the ego starts to explode on you. So for the next 2 weeks, you've identified these things that your brain needs to work on. They're coming into your energetic body and you're like, oh, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not going to do that anymore. And your ego's like, what do you mean we're not doing that? And like your whole body feels like it's against you because your brain is just like your ego is trying to keep its power. He's trying to stay in charge. But over and over again, I just turn around and I say, please sit down, sit all the way down. Because I don't really need to hear anything that has to say, okay? And after a little bit of time, the ego stays quieter. He's like, oh, she doesn't even care anymore. She doesn't want to listen to this anymore. She doesn't care. And you don't. And you're moving into higher frequency. And so your ego takes a back seat. Right now, our ego's driving us around. No, screw that. We don't want that. We are in control. We are not these thoughts and emotions that are in our bodies out here floating around. They're just out there. We are choosing to be them, and we don't have to, but our ego wants us to. So that's your homework over the next couple weeks, is to just figure out your thought patterns, okay? Figure out a couple of things that you're struggling with, and then start to see if you can feel them creeping in on you. And when they come, tell them no. Say no, okay? And then besides that, you are going to be sitting with the energy, introducing yourself to the energy, okay? Let it flow out of your heart and as a wave over your body. But also, if you are already feeling all of this and you're already like, yeah, I'm going to do this, I got some crystals, whatever, do that too, okay? Just focus on you, yourself, your house, your pet. Like, that's what I want you to focus on until we meet again, all right? All right, so our next part here is going to be our guided visualization. I'm going to take a little break for 1 second, and then I want you guys to push pause, go to the bathroom, do whatever you need to do, get a drink, do your thing, and then when you unpause it, we'll come back and we'll do our guided visualization or a meditation. Okay? Okay, welcome back. Get comfortable. Whatever that looks like for you. Again, meditation does not look the same for everybody. When I am led on a meditation, I like to have a pen and paper. I like to doodle what comes through. I like to draw and things like that. So whatever this looks like for you, get comfy, and we're going to go ahead and do our visualization. All right. So we can call this a meditative state, a visualization. Just go ahead and get comfy with how you're sitting. And let's take some deep breaths in through our nose and out through our mouth. Another deep breath in and out through our mouth. One more deep breath in and out. All right, so now I want you guys to imagine a red screw, okay? I want you to imagine a red screw coming out of your root chakra. And this red screw starts to anchor you down into Gaia. It screws you down nice and tightly into the earth, okay? And once you feel like you've been tightened nice and perfectly into the earth, I want you to imagine letting go of all of the energy that you brought here today that no longer serves you. Feel it drain out the bottom. Release it. Let it all go. I want you to also let go of anyone else's energy that you brought here today that isn't yours. Nobody else's energy is serving us at all. So let that go. Let Gaia have it, and she can repurpose it into something beautiful. Once you've let go of everything that you wish to release, I want you to see this soft green energy from Gaia starting to creep up that screw and into your body. This green energy, it surges into your body, penetrating through your root chakra and birthing itself into your sacral chakra, rising up higher to your solar plexus and birthing itself into your heart. And as this soothing, green, healing light from Gaia enters your heart space, it mixes and alchemy occurs. And this special color made from the mixing of your own heart energy and the energy of Gaia starts to spread like a wildfire throughout your body, quenching your entire being with the light created by your heart and Gaia. Just let this energy enter all of you, from your head to your toes and to the tip of each finger. Just let yourself be filled. When you have been filled up, I want you to say, my energy is completely restored. And claim it a second time. My energy is completely restored. And one more time. My energy is fully restored. Now that our energy is fully restored, I would like for you to come with me to my healing grid inside the astral plane. And we do this by expanding our heart space. I want you to think about that color that you just made with your energy and Gaia's energy. And I want you to imagine that expanding into this room, Push it past your own body and into the room where you are. Breathe in and push that energy up over your house, over the location where you are. Breathe out and allow yourself to keep rising. Meet me in this space of creation. Breathe in and rise above the city that you are in. Breathe out and keep rising. Know that you are still screwed tightly into the earth and you are safe. Allow your energy body to just keep expanding. Rise above the earth, into space, into the space that's known as pure creation. I'm waiting here for you. And when you arrive, you can see me, and I come over to you. I look soft, purple, and white, and I smell like lavender and campfire. And I brought a gift for you. I hand you a black cloak made of crushed black velvet. And you can see hand-sewn sigils and symbols for growth and alchemical healing on the underside. I throw it around your shoulders and you tie the bow in front. You pull that hood up over your head. And I'd like to ask you now if you give permission of yourself to enter my healing grid and let me turn on your Kundalini power. If so, say yes. I take my wand out of my cloak and I draw a doorway with an archway and a doorknob. And in front of our eyes, this old, ancient wooden door with intricate woodwork carved throughout it appears with a crystal doorknob. I open the door and we go into my healing grid. When you come inside, you see that the walls are made of jade and black obsidian, and the floors are made of rose quartz, and each step that you take lights up an intricate flower of life path below your feet. And that path leads you to a fire, roaring, calling you to warm yourself here. Come, join me by the fire. I'm going to draw a sacred circle around us at the fire. And this circle itself turns into flame. It rises around us so powerfully. And I begin to call back all of your power to you now. You are full and complete. And now we are going to call in the ascended masters, our guides, our teachers, and our ancestors. We call in the beings of light to be with us. And I'm going to come over to you. I'm going to pull out a vial of golden light liquid from my cloak. And with my thumb, I'm going to anoint your root chakra by drawing a spiral at the base of your spine. I'm now coming around to the front, and I'm going to draw a spiral on your heart chakra so that you may find your true way down this path that illuminates your heart. We now invoke the golden Christ flame within us. We now connect with the unified field of oneness. We ask our masters, angels, teachers, and guides to be with us now to turn on our Kundalini Reiki power. We ask that the unified field of oneness and our higher selves and our guides to assist everyone, but by accepting this attunement, by connecting the cords of divine light, energy, and love's presence on all levels at the physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, cosmic, and throughout all time and all dimensions. We ask for your help and guidance with bringing into everyone's light and spirit your love's beings and all elements of creation that come forward needing assistance at this time. We ask everyone's higher self to accept this opening and gift of love's presence, light, and universal divine energy through this transformational attunement. We now fully open and allow the life force energy flow, connecting your higher soul to the light of the universe. It's at this time that Sophia and Mother Mary step forward holding a key. They hand that key to you, and you take it and put it in your pocket. This is the key to your own healing grid, and it can be anywhere you want it to be. It doesn't have to be in the astral or on Earth at all, but it could be in the core of the Earth, in the deepest parts of space. I want you to use your imagination and know that this key will open all doors, especially the ones that you consider closed. I want you to just take some time and be here in this space. Let yourself look around. Ask your guides for any additional messages that they may have brought today. Just let yourself be here in this power. I'm going to give you a moment, and we will head back to the door. Anything that shows up now for you, whether it is a guide or a person or a shape or a flower, whatever it is, this is a tool. This is a helper. This is for you. I'm now going to let the fire die down, and I'm going to take your arm in mine, and we're going to walk back down the flower of life path together, back to the wooden door. And when I open it, you and I will both be brought back right here to where we sit. I want to thank the Reiki energy, our ascended masters and guides. Thank our teachers. I want to thank our ancestors. And I want to thank you for taking this journey with me. We have reached the door. I open it, and we have returned. May the light of the universe accompany you always on this journey. So be it, and so it is, and so it is done. And that's it. Take a minute, come back to yourself, and smile, because your power, your Kundalini is now awake. All right? All right, guys, it's been such a pleasure. I can't wait to sit down with you for class 2. It should be sometime at the end of October, the beginning of November, in the same location at Fox Cavern, which was a blast. It was so nice to see so many of you in person. I mean, if you weren't there in person, we had 4 tables pushed together, and we had chairs lining the outside of it. And so then more people came, and we brought in more chairs. And then more people came, and we had to take the tables apart so that people could sit all the way around them. It was amazing. So I can't wait to see everyone back for class 2. Yeah, and if you haven't yet, follow us on Facebook, send me a friend request, let's stay in touch. If you need the booklet, let me know, and I'm always down at Raven and Rose, happy to talk to you about your path. All right, I'll see you guys later. Have a blessed day.